Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. So today I'm sharing a fun card making tutorial using gilding flakes. I haven't made a video using gilding flakes for a little while, so I thought I'd share an idea that I had with you today. I'll be using these flakes from Indigo Blu. I've got the Chariots of Fire, Lancashire Rose, and then I've also got a blended one that's called Manchester Tart, and that's got a hint of gold, silver and copper in as well. Now, usually when I use gilding flakes, I use black or white cardstock, but today I'm going to play with some coloured cardstock and also some silver mirror cardstock. I think when you think of gilding flakes, you may not think about using them on any kind of mirror cardstock or even coloured cardstock. So I've got some ideas to share with you today, and I think the cards turn out really fun. So I'm going to be using some stencils from A Colourful Life Designs. So I've got this new one. This was from the February release. It's the Geometric Butterflies. I've got the Snowdrop stencil, which is a really pretty design. And then I'm also going to be using the 9 Flowers stencil. That was also from the February release, and it's one of my favourites. So you'll be seeing this coming up in a few videos. So when you're using gilding flakes, you need to use a tacky glue. So you can use something like the Crafters Workshop Tacky When Dry Gel Medium, or you can use the Indigo Blu Flitter Glue. There are other brands of tacky glue on the market, but whatever you choose to use, it needs to dry so that it's still tacky, so that the gilding flakes will stick to it. Now, the Crafters Workshop Tacky When Dry Gel Medium is one of my favourite products. It's a little bit tricky to get hold of in the UK, so you may have seen recently I've been using some Deco Foil Duo Gel, which works in exactly the same way. It's just a little bit easier for me to get here, but I definitely recommend the Crafters Workshop Tacky When Dry. It is just such a great product to work with, and it spreads on like butter. If you've tried any of their stencil butters, this goes on exactly the same way. So I'm just using a palette knife to make sure that it's nice and even. I'm taking any excess back off and popping it in the pot. I don't want to waste any of that product. And then I'm going to peel off the stencil, and then I'll set this panel aside to dry. You want to make sure that you wash your stencil straight away, or at least just put it in some water so that the tacky gel doesn't dry on it. I'm now going to bring in my panels of coloured cardstock. These are all 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. And first of all, I'm going to use the 9 Flowers stencil, and I really wanted to use a colour block technique. So basically, colour blocking is where you use blocks of colour on a panel to create a really fun background. It's very popular in fashion, and it's also very popular in card making. So that's what I'm going to do. I've trimmed the panels in half, and I'm going to bring in my Altenew sticky mat, and I'm going to line up the panels together. So I may as well do the two at the same time. So that's what I'm doing here. I've lined them up, and then that way the stencil design will match up perfectly on the panels. So again, here I'm using the Tacky When Dry Gel Medium and a palette knife, and I'm just making sure that I've got a nice even coverage. I do decide to bring in my Sizzix Media tool just because it's got a really smooth edge, and that's allowed me to get as much excess as possible off the stencil. And again, that conserves product and means you can put it back in the pot for later. And it's the same with this stencil and the palette knife and the media tool. I'm just going to pop those in water to dry. I wiped off my media mat just with a wet wipe, and then it's ready to go for the next one. Now for the geometric butterfly, I'm going to use the Indigo Blu Flitter Glue. I really want to show you how a gel medium versus a flitter glue really kind of changes the look slightly of the gilding flakes, because the glue is obviously going to dry flat. It's not going to have any texture. You do get a slightly different look, so I really want to show you that. So I'm just adding a little bit of the glue to a piece of craft sponge, and then I'm just pushing it in with a palette knife. This is just going to create like a glue pad or a sticky pad, and I can then dab that through the stencil. You could use a blending tool here, like a foam blending applicator. And then once I've applied the glue, I'm just going to remove the stencil, again pop it in some water, and you can see that glue's almost dried instantly really. So once I'm sure it's definitely dry, I can then start to add my gilding flakes. So for this one, I'm going to use the Chariots of Fire. These are really big gold flakes in this pot, so they're really easy to add smoothly, which is what I'm doing here. And then I'm just going to burnish them with my finger just to make sure that all of the tacky glue is covered with the gilding flakes. You can then tap off the excess flakes, and then you want to come in with something like a paintbrush or a scoochy foam, which is an abrasive foam. I do find with a paintbrush you keep a lot more of the shine. I find I'm a bit too heavy-handed with a scoochy foam. But yeah, if you've seen any of my other tutorials with gilding flakes, I show you both ways of doing this. I also have a beginner's video as well, which is very helpful if you've never used gilding flakes before, and it just goes through some of these steps in a little bit more detail. So you can see this is what the gilding flakes looks like with the glue. You've got all that gorgeous shine, beautiful crisp design, and it's nice and flat. There's no texture. So for the flowers, I'm going to use the Lancashire Rose Gilding Flakes. This is a blend of copper and gold flakes. And again, it's the same process. I'm adding some gilding flakes onto the tacky when dry gel medium and burnishing those in with my finger. Now with the tacky when dry gel medium, you know that it's dry when it goes clear. So if it's still white and creamy, it's not quite dry yet. And you do need to make sure that it's dry first of all. Again, once it's all burnished, I'm just taking a broad paintbrush and again burnishing all of those gilding flakes in. This is my favourite part when I'm using gilding flakes because it really reveals the design and burnishes those flakes, and they just look so pretty. So I'm going to do the same steps for all the other panels as well. I won't bore you with all of the footage, but I'm just going to follow exactly the same steps on all of the panels. And then once they're all done, I'm just dusting them off with a microfiber cloth that just removes any of the tiny dust that's left over from the gilding flakes. Now the gel medium took a little bit longer to dry on the metallic cardstock, so now it's dry, I'm able to add my gilding flakes, and I wanted to try a tone on tone effect. So I am using silver gilding flakes here. These are the Sheffield Steel gilding flakes from Indigo Blu, and I've just got those in a small Tupperware container. Again, I'm popping the excess bits back into the pot, and I'm using a paintbrush here just to bring out the design and burnish those flakes in, and it gives a really beautiful subtle effect on the mirror cardstock. So I hope you can see that well enough on the camera. It's really, really pretty and very delicate. So it's just another way of using your gilding flakes on mirror cardstock. And of course, if you use coloured flakes, then you'd get a different look altogether as well. So I'm now going to show you how I'm going to turn all of these panels into cards. And first of all, I'm going to use this charming embossing folder. Now I just want to partially emboss, and you can see there where my cutting pad tapers off. So that's where the pressure will stop being applied. So I am just going to pop the cardstock just half in the embossing folder, and then I'm going to line up my cutting pad so that it doesn't overlap the design, and I make sure that the embossing tapers off before it gets to the butterfly. I'm then just going to run this through my Big Shot machine, and you can see there just that bottom half is embossed. So that looks really pretty, and it's just adding a little bit of texture and interest to the card panel. I had already trimmed it down to 5 1/4 by 4 inches, but I'm also going to round off the corners, and then I'm just going to glue this down with some Barley Arts liquid glue to keep it nice and flat. My sentiment is from the So Many Sayings stamp set from Concord and 9th, and it's just white heat embossed on some black cardstock. I'm going to pop that up on a little bit of foam tape, and then I will add a few little gold gems off camera, and that will be the first card finished. And I think this looks really, really pretty. So the next cards that I'm going to create are these colour block panels that I've made. I'm going to attach each of the panels to a piece of white cardstock that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. This is just so that the panels are then lined up and ready and a lot easier to work with. So once they're all stuck down, I'm then going to first of all emboss one of the panels. This is the moulded frame embossing folder from Spellbinders. It just creates, well, as the name suggests, a moulded frame that's embossed. This is one of my favourite embossing folders at the minute. I've been using it a lot off camera, and it just creates that really gorgeous embossed frame. So I'm going to attach it to an A2 card blank, so that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. I'm adding lots of liquid glue behind it because obviously it is embossed, so you want to make sure that you've got good contact with your card base so that it sticks down well. I'm then just going to add this sentiment that says thinking of you from Concord and 9th, and again I'm going to add some foam tape to the back of this just to pop it up, give it a little bit of dimension and extra interest. I did think about adding some gems to this, but I don't want to take away from the shine of the gilding flakes. So for the other colour blocked panel, again I'm going to finish this quite simply. I'm going to add some foam tape to the back of the panel just to pop that up. It's got a nice white border around it because I trimmed it to be 3 3/4 by 5 inches. I'm going to add this large friend die from Concord and 9th with some liquid glue, and then another sentiment from the So Many Sayings stamp set that says you are loved, and that's just popped on some foam tape, and I think that looks really, really pretty. For the silver mirror cardstock, I'm going to mount this to a panel of black cardstock. This is a 6 by 6 inch card, and the silver piece measures 5 1/2 inches and the black piece 5 3/4 inches. Again, I'm just keeping this nice and flat with lots of liquid glue. And then for a sentiment, I'm going to use this Written Words 2 stamp set. This is from the Kristina Werner line with Concord and 9th. I'm just going to use that hang in there sentiment. And I think these sentiments have such a lovely font. I'm going to use some embossing ink on some black cardstock, and then I'm going to add some white superfine embossing powder from Wow. I had stamped and die cut the sentiment in black ink on white cardstock, but it just didn't really stand out enough on the card, so I thought it would look better on black card in white embossing powder. So again, I'm just going to use the coordinating die, and I'm just going to pop that on some frame tape there, and then that's the finished card, and I think it looks really, really pretty. It's a bit tricky to show it on camera because it's reflecting everything, but here's just a view of all the cards that we've created today as well. I really love these colour block panels. I think they look really fun, and again, there's so many colour combinations you could use. There's the mirror card that we've just created, and again, this tone on tone look is very delicate, looks really pretty. And then finally, this was the one that used the flitter glue with the gilding flakes. And as you can see, it is nice and flat. There really is no texture at all on the card. Whereas when you use the Tacky When Dry Gel Medium, you do get a very slight raised texture. Both finishes look beautiful. I particularly like using the Tacky When Dry Gel Medium. I just really love the finish it gives, and I love how easy it is to use with stencils. But either or is absolutely fine. As always, I'll leave you with some close-up photos. All the products that I've used will be listed in the description box below. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you've enjoyed this tutorial. It really helps me out. Don't forget to leave me a comment. Let me know which of these cards is your favourite from today. I'll leave a couple of videos at the end. One is my beginners with gilding flakes video, and the other one is how to get crisp white heat embossing on black cardstock if you're looking for some more content to watch. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care.